What's going on, everybody? King of Dragons 5000 here, coming at you with another figure review. Today we'll be having a look at the Hasbro Marvel Legends Walgreens exclusive X-Men series, Emma Frost. And so here we have Emma Frost posed and out of the packaging. Before we have a look at the figure, let's actually take a look at what she comes with. Emma Frost does come with two different head sculpts. She comes with a more modern head sculpt that she comes on her outside of the packaging. And then we also do get a very classic looking Emma Frost head sculpt. Emma Frost also does come with two pairs of hands. We get a pair of fists for Emma Frost. And then we also do get a pair of open hands for Emma Frost, so it does look like she's using her powers. Other than that, we don't get any other accessories, which I'm perfectly okay with. So, what we're going to do now is actually take a closer look at Emma Frost. And so here we have a closer look at Emma Frost. Now, this isn't the costume of Emma Frost I would have preferred to have. I prefer the White Queen look where she has white on. But this is still a really nice looking figure, and Hasbro did a lot of things right on this figure. For starters, let's actually take a look at her head. That's a really beautiful head sculpt, and it's not generic like we've seen with so many other Marvel Legends faces. This actually does look like Emma Frost. Although the classic head also looks like Emma Frost, so when we do get a White Queen version of Emma Frost, I'll have the head right here. Taking a look at this head sculpt, you can see she does have the blue lipstick on. She does have some eyeshadow right above her eyes, which look really nice. Her blue eyes are just piercing, which I love that. Really do love her hair, although if I could say one thing, I would have liked to see some shading on the hair, because it's kind of just the plastic. I would have liked to see a little bit of shading on here just to bring out some of the detail. But overall, it's a nice looking figure. Now, Hasbro actually did go ahead and sculpt her upper torso. Now, I can't find any other figures, but I want to say that this torso hasn't been used before. The upper torso is actually sculpted, so it does have the neck piece right here. Her top is, of course, sculpted, which is really nice. I do appreciate that it's not just painted on. And I do like the fact that it is cast in flesh-toned plastic, painted black, so it doesn't have that weird appearance that it's lighter than her face or more muted, so good job there. I love the way her trench coat works. It's actually attached at her shoulders, which goes around. Her shoulder pads are part of the coat, and again, just a really nice sculpt on the coat. Again, it's not my preferred look for Emma Frost, but I really do like it. The shoulder pads are nicely done for the most part. Having a look at the right shoulder, you can see the X is done really well, and they did do a really nice, it's almost like a really dark metallic blue for the shoulder pads. On this side, not so great. You can see the red X completely missed the molding, so that's kind of bad, honestly. But other than that, the paint on her is exceptional. You can see the difference in flesh tone paint versus the plastic, and it's a little more obvious on her arms. Although I don't think it's quite as obvious because that's not as close to the actual torso. So that is there. Her glove cuffs are separate pieces, which they did a really good job with that. Again, you can see some paint errors here on mine. Really love this belt. I don't know where we've seen this belt before. I know we have seen it before, but I can't quite put my finger on it. And it does a really good job covering up. Hips are flesh tone plastic, which again, really good job there. Her boots are separate pieces, so really good job there. I would have liked to see some sculpt work in the boots, but seeing as how this is a Walgreens exclusive figure, I can see why they just painted the line work. Having a look at her calves, you can see the line work does continue, and then we also do get separate boot cuffs, which they are sculpted really nice. I do like that. Now the problem area of the figure. This figure has a really hard time standing, all because of the heels. It's a really nice addition to the figure, but the heels do make it quite hard for her to stand. You gotta get her just right or else she's not gonna stand. And you can see I'm already having problems getting her to stand. But overall, I really do like the way Emma Frost came out Although not my preferred costume, I still like the way it looks. So, what we're going to do now is compare it to other figures you may have in your collection. Here we have Emma Frost posed next to a Marvel Legends Cyclops and a DC Multiverse Superman. Here we have Emma Frost posed next to a WWE Elite Scale figure and a Mezco 1/12 Collective Popeye the Sailor Man. And finally, here we have Emma Frost posed next to a Lightning Collection White Ranger and a Star Wars Black Series Mandalorian. So with the comparisons out of the way, let's actually move on to her articulation. Now, she does have the standard disc hinge in the neck, so we do get a hinge that works pretty well going forward. A little hindered going back just because of how her head sculpt is. And her head is on a ball joint, so we do get some pretty good movement there. Does turn left and right. Although, I'm pretty glad that it's a softer plastic, so we can actually turn her head. That's one good thing about this figure. Her arms are on ball hinges. They do go all the way around, but they do get caught on the shoulder pads, and the reason for that is the shoulder pads are actually connected to the coat. I kind of would have liked to see them connected to the arm just to give them a little more range, but as far as moving them up, that's no problem. Moving them back, no problem. Outwards, also no problem. We do have a hinge in the elbow, which goes all the way up. We do have swivel at the elbow as well. We have a swivel and hinge combination here at the wrist. We have a ball joint in the torso, which crunches only to about that far. Crunches further back, and I do like the fact that they did continue the paint all the way up. We do have rotation at the mid-torso, as well as some side-to-side pivot. No waist swivel, but her hips do kick forward all the way horizontal. They go back all the about that far. Go out decent enough. We do have a thigh swivel right where the plastics meet, so we have a thigh swivel right here where the black plastic meets the flesh colored plastic. A double jointed knee, which works pretty good. But then we also do get a hinge in the ankle, which goes back about that far, goes forward about that far, and then because of how the heel is designed, we just get a swivel. No rocker ankle just because of how the heel is designed. So overall, Emma Frost here sports decent articulation. It's not the best, but I do appreciate it. So what we're going to do now is get her posed for my final thoughts, and then we'll wrap up this review. And so here we have Emma Frost posed for my final thoughts. Overall, this is a really nice figure, and I am really glad I found this figure. Now, looking for Emma Frost, it wasn't a figure I was actually looking for. I was looking for the Lightning Collection Black Ranger when I did happen to stumble upon this figure. Now, I did find the Black Ranger first, and just looking throughout my Walgreens, I happened to stumble upon their Marvel display, and she was the only one on the peg, so I just had to pick her up. I mainly got her because I need an Emma Frost in my collection, and until we get a White Queen version of Emma Frost, this will have to do. It's still a really impressive figure, and I do like the fact that Hasbro did take the time to sculpt new pieces for this figure. The classic Emma head is something that I really do appreciate, but this modern head for Emma Frost is still an exceptional sculpt. If you can find Emma Frost at your local Walgreens, I really do recommend you pick her up, especially if you're a fan of the X-Men like I am. You're going to need an Emma Frost in your collection, and until we get a White Queen version, this version is the only one we can have. So with that being said, guys, I'm KingofDragons 5000. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel. Go ahead and check out all my other action figure reviews, as well as all my other Marvel Legend and X-Men videos. Hopefully you find them informative. As always, if there's a figure you would like to see me review, let me know down in the comments, and if it fits in my collection, I'll definitely have a look at it. While you're at it, check out my Instagram account for new and exciting action figure photos, and ring that bell to be notified every time I upload a video. You don't want to miss out on any of my videos, so ring that bell. Until next time, guys, I'll see you later. Take care, everyone.